Hi, this is Mike. I wanted to show you a couple knives I've just completed. I'm also going to put several knives up on Gear Bastion in August. If you look at the model list on Gear Bastion, it'll be a camp cleaver, a dual grind camper, which is turning out really nice, a Troid, a companion, a bulldog, a new blade design that I have here that I'll be showing you in a minute. So like I said, they should be done in August. I'm going to be sending those to heat treat very shortly. Two of the knives I'm going to show you here, though, one I did for my daughter and one I did for my wife, so keep that in mind when you see them, because they're pretty feminine looking. And then I did one for myself for my camping knife. So I'll show you that as well. I'm real happy with the way that turned out. This is the knife I made for my wife. And you see the art pattern and when the overlay, the Kydex overlay there. This is a 1095 knife based on the companion design. I changed it a little bit just to customize it for her. And has a flashlight holder on the side. This is just a little flashlight you can get over at the local sporting goods store. It sits in there real nice though. It snaps in good, turned out nice. And I can do this for any of the knives that I put out there. Maybe I'll put it on Gear Bastion as an accessory or something, but it turned out good. Belt holder can be turned, to accommodate a horizontal carry around the back. It's set up for right-hand draw. This is a 1095 blade. I might have mentioned that. Rockwell to 58. You see my symbol on the side there. I sat and finished it. Hand sat and finished it. I rounded the spine a little bit just to give it a softer appeal, as well as the tang. This is a diamond wood handle. Turned out to look like pink and wood, which is why I chose the sheath color. It just turned out to match nicely. And then I did some mosaic pins that look, I guess kind of like a flower, you would say. So it sits in there pretty nice, and I'm happy with the way this one turned out. The other one I did, and this is a new design. I haven't named it yet. I'm going to, and I'm going to make it more of an EDC knife. But this is the one for my daughter. You see the flashlight holder with the designs and the hearts. Flashlight holder again turned out good. These are $9.99 at Sports Authority or Dick's Sporting Goods, and it's 100 lumen, little light, single AA, lasts a couple hours. Doesn't have any bells or whistles in terms of dimming or anything like that, but for general camping use, to have one handy, it's great. I did the lanyard here. It's the thumb style lanyard, as you'd see on the Paracordist, if you ever went to his site. And then a nice positive lock sheath on this knife. You hear it snap in. And this is what I would call my EDC design. I etched a heart on the side for her. This is I never used this handle material before, so the first time I used it, and I like it. I heard bad reviews about it in terms of it getting slippery when it's wet, but I'm not overly concerned at this point. I put a lot of, it probably doesn't translate, but I put a lot of contours into the handle, so it fits her hand really well. So I'm not really concerned about it slipping. Plus, this isn't a heavy chopper or anything that you would be using for, you would be swinging. So I wasn't really concerned about that. I was more concerned about, resisting water, obviously, in terms of absorption. And visual appeal. It's a deep pink, and when I polished it, I know this is on videos, I don't know if you can, it looks very deep. You can see, it's kind of translucent, you can see into it, and it looks nice. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I did a Vinework file work on the top, and then I did a different pattern from my thumb rise back to the butt of the knife. And this pattern here matches the one I did on my knife, which is, she wanted it to match a little bit. So this is all epoxy filled. The other thing I did with this knife is I did a full slats rescue belt. Very, very time consuming. I was thinking about making these and putting them up on Gear Bastion with my knives. It just takes so long to do. and to make them, to make them nice. And one of the things you have to do is try to make sure your pressure's even throughout as you're tying this thing. And for anybody unfamiliar with the Slats Rescue belt, it's a ripcord style belt. So if I untie this end and I get my two ends, I can pull it, and the whole thing will just pull right apart. In this belt, I have a 50 foot of pink and 50 foot of purple 550 cord. So it did turn out nice. And the beauty of the belt, this style belt as well, is you can use a single prong or a double prong belt. And, when you lock it up, it pierces right through the cord and creates a real strong hold. So you don't have to worry about the belt. And plus, the belt's soft. It's a nice belt. It's slightly flexible, so you can tighten it up real nice without it really cinching down on your waist. It makes a wonderful belt. Plus, it looks cool. Getting back to my knife, this is a modified version of what I would call my camper design, which is on Gear Bastion. I actually lengthened the center portion of the knife, and once again, this was just for my own personal use, so I didn't really care how big or heavy or cumbersome it is to carry, because it's a pretty nice sized blade. I use my positive lock with the thumb stud. This was kind of my design. I haven't seen really anybody else do it, but it does work fantastic. Real positive lock on the knife, and then you just pull that to the side. Since the Kydex is so flexible, it has such good memory, and it pops right out. Does a great job. I use the top load sheath for these because I like the sheath to be contoured to the blade. I think it looks really nice, complements it well. And once again, I have full file work on this. I hope you can see it. Whole way down to the spine, which is epoxy filled. This is I don't want to call it a mirror finish. It's kind of a semi-mirror. I actually satined it. And then I thought, you know what, I'll polish it a little bit just to give it a little more pizzazz, I guess you would call it. Did a small top swedge to make the point a little bit more of a piercing point, but you see it's a very front heavy knife for chopping. This is stabilized Afzelia burl. I found it on eBay. It turned out just spectacular. I'm so happy with it. Did a lot of handle contouring. I hope you can see that properly. It's a big handle. I do put big handles on most of my knives. Some of the smaller knives have smaller handles just to keep the profile overall smaller. But you'll see, for me, it fits perfect. And obviously I designed this for me. So I actually, when I was shaping it out, when I was tooling it out, and this wasn't water jet. This was entirely tooled out by me. I contoured it to my hand. So it worked really good. So what this allows me to do, this big long handle, is I can actually bring it back here if I'm chopping and use my lanyard to hold my handle in there, and I can just get a little bit more forward weight leverage to do my chopping, or I can keep it up here. I should have thought of it ahead of time, but I could do a 2x4 test, which maybe I'll do one and post it later. But I can go through stuff pretty good with this. It does a real nice job. So, and I did put a mosaic pin in the middle. I started doing that. The triple mosaics look nice, but I always like that real solid look of the pins with that. I get it's almost like a piece of jewelry in the middle there. So that, in combination with the with the file work on the spine, it just turned out really good. One other little note here is I don't know if you can see this on the video, but you can see this these lines here. And what I had done is I had this bead blasted, and then I sanded this down, and then I ended up polishing it a little bit. But I kept this bead blasted, and I just scuffed off the very top edges to make those lines stand out a little bit. That was the original milling of the 440C that was left on the knife, and I thought, this will look really cool if I just keep it there. So it just turned out just wonderful. I'm so happy with it. So yeah, this is my everyday carry. Hope you like it, and I'll have some other knives up on Gear Bastion, and if you have any questions, you can always email me. My email's on Gear Bastion. All right, thank you.